youtube.com/angels_calamity. And I just posted, what? We good?
Keep going.
Okay. I don't know. I just posted a video today of your boy Chase and I playing Visage in the new update 2020, and we get scared poopless. And then,
Visage updated?
Yeah, my amazing co-host, Directionally Challenged.
Hi, I'm Directionally Challenged, and I'm going to make a rant video about a chair.
Okay.
That's what I got for you guys. I also just beat Code Vein.
Good.
Weirdly enough, I beat the final boss by insulting him and telling him that I would rather bring Yamcha back with the Dragon Balls than him.
Okay.
I don't know why that worked, but that somehow worked for me.
Sweet.
When in doubt, insult the enemy and say that Yamcha's better than them. It really burns them.
Yeah, that's fair, because we know how Yamcha be. But welcome to Season 3, everybody. Oh, don't forget, our broadcaster, who is our silent watcher, is Chase, and he has an Instagram filled with his art. So you guys should totally check that out. I'm sure there's a link somewhere. Somewhere there's a link. But
we will find one.
Somewhere in DC's void.
Well, you're going to have to be more specific. Which section?
Subsection
Z12, maybe?
Z12 subsection 82, to be precise. Anyway, we're here in Season 3. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Season 3 of OtakuCast is back. And we have new animes to discuss because we watched the first episode of them. And we have our topic today, which is seasonal versus ongoing anime. But first, we have some news for you. Oh, and sorry if my audio is not the greatest. I'm still waiting on my replacement mic. It should be better next week. And I can get a real microphone, right, guys?
Maybe.
Anyway, what's our first news story? Or can I actually do the first one? Because I like this.
You can do whatever news story you want to do.
All right, my first news story I want to talk about today is Resident Evil Village release date is May 7th. And everybody knows Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil Village, which is Resident Evil 8 at this point because of the memes.
I think Jacksepticeye actually released a video.
Yeah, I watched that. He played the PS5 demo. I don't have a PS5, and I wanted to play it because I am a long-term lover. Long-term lover.
Most people don't have a PS5.
This is true. Of the Resident Evil games. And let's see, Capcom has revealed when Resident Evil 8 arrives on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. And Resident Evil Village, the 9th mainline entry in Capcom's survival horror series, will launch on May 7th, 2021. Not that far away, guys. The release date was revealed during the Resident Evil Showcase digital event, where it was also confirmed that the game will be available for PS4, Xbox, and Xbox One, alongside the previously announced 5 and Xbox Series. Is that XIS? X/X? What is that?
I don't know. I don't understand the Xbox naming convention.
X-Line X and PC versions. The digital PlayStation 4 version will include a free upgrade to the PS5 version, while Smart Delivery will make the Xbox Series X-Line X versions available to those who purchase it on Xbox One. There'll be multiple versions of RE Village available. In addition to the standard version, there's a digital deluxe edition, a collector's edition, and Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7 complete bundle. I have 7. It's amazing. And Cole and I were thinking about playing some VR of it on the channel.
That just sounds terrible.
It is. I tried a little bit of it. Of Biohazard 13 in chat says, of course they had to make big vampire ladies. I'm ready. Yes.
I don't understand the Resident Evil the series anymore. It's getting weird.
It started, 4 was an amazing game, one of the best in the series, and fight me if you disagree, but it started with 4 and its mechanics, and then it just kind of went off, and I'm okay with that. 5, we're not going to talk about 5 and Chris Redfield punching a boulder, but...
I think we're going to have to disagree on 4 because, honestly, most people really loved 2.
2 and 3 were amazing games.
So... the next bit of news, though, is Jujutsu Kaisen is going to take 15 of the top 16 spots in the weekly manga sales ranking. We got to move on. We got to move along. Think about that, though. Jujutsu Kaisen is taking 15 of the top 16 spots. That is freaking amazing. Lot. Yes.
And even though we couldn't finish watching it in Anime Club, I will be finishing watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
Do it. So, it's great. It is an amazing great. Series.
And so apparently, I would shrimp for Saikuno. Sakuna.
Sakuna. It's not Saikuno. Why do you keep saying Saikuno? It's not even close.
Because Saikuno is a more common name in anime, and that's where my shrimp brain goes to.
Well, Oricon revealed on Friday its top 50 manga ranking for the week of January 11th through 17th, and all 15 volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen, including the Volume 0 prequel, ranked in the top 16 spots for the week. The 14th and most recent volume of the manga sold 190,724 copies in the week, for a total of 845,366 since the volume's release in January 4th.
Yep, and the 33rd volume of Isayami's Attack on Titan manga topped the chart, because of course it will. Isn't it, like, in its final arc there?
Yeah, it's going to end in April. It's going to end in April, I think.
When it ends, I'm going to be doing some binge watching of that.
But check this. So Jujutsu Kaisen had 8.5 million copies in circulation in October. Then hit 20 million copies, not including digital, as of January 13th.
That's just a lot.
Yeah, the number of copies in circulation rose 235% since the premiere of its anime. Had 8.5 million copies, boosted to 20 million copies, rose 235% since it's started the anime adaptation. That's amazing. It's freaking amazing.
That's a lot. And
I can't
honestly, it deserves it. Like, some animes are overhyped or whatever, some mangas are overhyped. But Jujutsu Kaisen, I haven't read the manga, but what I've seen of the anime, it deserves the hype. It's well done.
It is.
Well done.
The anime isn't even up to like chapter 30 or 40 of the manga.
Dang. All right, the next news
like
story
150 chapters.
Is Netflix adds Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba TV anime in US. Everyone should know Demon Slayer at this point. It's gotten really popular really fast. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
Okay.
It announced on Friday that Netflix announced on Friday that it's now streaming Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba anime in the US. And the NX Twitter account described the release as the anime's first season. I'm not sure.
First season? First season. That's a weird way of like, oh, we're going to be releasing the first season.
Yeah, I don't know. The anime premiered in April 2019, and it ran for 26 episodes. Aniplex of America licensed the series, and it's also streaming on Hulu, Crunchyroll, Funimation Now, Adult Swim's Toonami programming block. Premiered it on October 12th, and Funimation began streaming the English dub on December 8th. The Aniplex describes the story. It's the Tenishi period in Japan. Taisho, excuse me. Thank you.
It's like, I think it's, oh man, I don't remember exactly when it is, but it's before like the 1900s or just after. It's a weird time period.
Biohazard in chat says that they love the animation and Demon Slayer. Ooh, it does look very good. Tanjiro, did I say Tanjiro? A kind-hearted boy who sells charcoal for a living finds his family slaughtered by a demon. To make matters worse, his younger sister, Nezuko, the sole survivor, has been transformed into a demon slayer. A demon herself.
I have to correct them. It's not slaughtered by a demon. It's slaughtered by Michael Jackson. I'm not kidding. The main villain looks like Michael Jackson.
Oh, well,
like he's got the little hat. He's got like the pale skin. He's got the suit. His nose is a little weird. He looks like Michael Jackson.
Though devastated
I keep expecting him to moonwalk.
He might. Though devastated by this grim reality, Tanjiro resolves to become a demon slayer so he can turn his sister back into a human and kill the demon that massacred his family. And lots of good people within. I'm not going to read the whole list. But lots of people with quite the impressive resume.
MJ Tanjiro's family. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Chase in chat says Gact done a cover.
Yeah. Oh, I like Gact. For those of you who don't know, Gact was in a movie with Josh Hartnett called Bunraku.
Ooh, I don't know
Yes.
what that is.
It's an amazing movie based off of Japanese paper theater.
Ooh,
It
very
follows a
cool.
samurai. It follows a samurai with no sword and a cowboy in a world without guns.
Oh, all right. Well, there's also a movie, the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train, opened in Japan on October 16th.
You
It's
pretty much
earned
just
a
said the Demon
lot of
Slayer,
yen.
Demon Slayer.
Did I?
Yeah, it's earned 36 billion yen, $348 million, sold 26.44 million tickets, basically just million, and it surpassed Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away as
It's,
the all-time highest earning in Japanese box office history.
which is sad, but that means that movie's gotta be really good. So I haven't. I'm not.
That's
I'll
gotta be
watch it
decent, at least,
once
yeah.
I'm there with the show. But yeah.
But
Anyway,
once
if
again,
you guys have seen
proven
it, what you guys think of it?
it's just proven that Spirited Away is just the best Miyazaki movie.
Yeah. Well, I like Howl's Moving Castle slightly better, but because I quite enjoy looking at Howl. But anyway, what's our last news story?
Well, fun fact, did you know that Django from One Piece is also based off Michael Jackson, much like the Demon Slayer villain?
One Piece. Yeah.
It's always gonna happen. Anyways, the first Studio Ghibli CG movie, Earwig and the Witch, which really, Earwig is just a terrible choice. The Witch is going to stream exclusively on HBO Max because there's not enough streaming services. Hello.
I have HBO Max.
Yeah, but
so-
like, what is there? There's like HBO Max, there's Cinemax, there's
Cinemax
there's-
probably has a different type of. I don't think any anime movies are on Cinemax.
No, they actually got rid of all their adult content. That's one of the things they cleaned up. Then there's like Disney Plus, then there's like Hulu Plus, then there's Netflix. There's
YouTube TV and YouTube Red.
YouTube TV. You remember when we started doing streaming services to get away from all the cable services, but now it's basically you're gonna have to get a streaming package that's like your cable package, and we're just gonna go right back to where we were.
There's Funimation and Crunchyroll and
I
Anime
know!
Lab and what's
There's
that?
just
Night
so many-
Alley is another anime streaming one.
And then they're
I think
moving
that one
movies
died.
off of one to like you can only watch it on the other one. Like, geez. So apparently the new movie coming out, Studio Ghibli's new film. This is the first ever CGI movie made by them. The studio that specializes in hand-drawn anime typically, but they have confirmation that Earwig and the Witch is going to be on HBO Max. It'll follow the film's theatrical release by 2 days. It says it's
Dang.
not the same as the rest of the Warner Brothers 2021 slate going to HBO Max, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, there's a lot of firsts associated with Earwig and the Witch. On top of being on HBO Max, the movie's also the studio's first ever CGI film. This is kind of a risky move, given the state of CG animation and anime. But honestly, it looks
the good
good.
thing about it, well, that's the good thing about it is that they made it look like anime, so they kept the big eyes, the round faces. Like they didn't try and go realistic with it. They kept it cartoony. It kind of reminds me of like Dragon Quest. Like if you guys have ever played a Dragon Quest game, those are all 3D and anime styled, and it just sort of looks like a Dragon Quest kind of thing going on for it. But let's see here. Before Earwig and the Witch's HBO Max appearance on February 5th, the film will release limited theaters 2 days before. So the film will come out February 3rd, which is really close.
Yes, I am excited to see that one. Who knows? Keep your eyes out, guys. It might be on a wild card pick in the future.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait. I don't got HBO Max. I ain't gonna get HBO Max.
It'll be all right. It'll be fine.
I ain't gonna get HBO Max, man.
I got HBO Max to watch the Golden Compass. But anyway, his Dark Materials. I mean, don't you judge me. Don't you judge me. Don't you judge me.
Harshly right now.
No, don't you judge me. Anyway, we're gonna move on to our topic. And our topic
What is our topic?
Seasonal versus ongoing anime.
Yes,
Now,
the debate.
But for those of you that don't know, seasonal anime is done more like My Hero. It comes out in seasons, if you will.
Seasonal anime is like a TV show. TV shows typically run for the summer season, the winter season, the spring season, the fall season. So seasonal anime follows the same ideology. It comes summer, spring, winter, fall. Some seasons, they'll do a summer season, take a break, come back in the winter season, things like that. and ongoing is just every week.
Naruto.
Naruto, One Piece, those like One Piece started ongoing back when ongoing was the trend, and they just stayed ongoing because why change the seasons when you've already been ongoing for 875 episodes?
Yeah. Look, and like they have very small breaks, but with the ongoing animes, they're just every time. And see, there's some pros and cons to it. And the biggest one is filler.
So yeah, that's actually really important to talk about. Seasonal anime has the luxury of being able to closely follow the manga or the source material, whatever the source material may be, because sometimes they do it off of light novels and things like that. And they're able to more closely follow it because they're going to have 9 months before they come back, typically, or 3 months at the very least.
Yeah.
And that sort of takes the stress off of the animators. It gives them time to work on some other projects.
They can improve the quality of their
Yeah,
animation
it can be
and the
decent
show in
quality.
general. Yes.
So that's one of its
Because
upsides.
in Japan, speaking of animation, animators are not paid well. They are overworked, and there's not a lot of them. Like there's not enough animation. There's always a demand in animation over there, but they're not paid well. They're overworked, and ongoing gets their filler to keep going to pad the anime. Where seasonal animes, if they make filler, it's because they want to, and it's decent filler.
The other thing though is with that is it's not all studios that underpay their staff, because there is an anime studio that their whole thing was is that they gave their people fair wages. They
Well,
didn't
that's good.
overwork them. Yeah, well, it's a complicated issue because it's not, it's not all studios, but it's enough studios that don't really pay them as well as they should. And that is why, yeah, seasonal has the benefit of allowing them to take time off, to be more leisure about how they're animating it. But you come to that problem of having to wait 9 months to see the next season. And by then, if you're just an anime watcher, who knows if you remembered what happened last season?
Yeah. Well, and animation's not easy. Have you ever drawn something? Exactly. Drawing is not easy. I forayed into art. I am not that good at it. So don't look at my
Yeah.
Instagram for my Inktober.
Well,
Don't do
I
it.
look at it as
But
kind of like
it's
what, yeah, it's kind of like Disney. Have you ever
yeah,
seen like Disney's animators?
yeah.
Overworked, underpaid, and there's like hundreds of them working on one movie.
Hmm.
Just, yeah, so it's the same thing in anime. You have to have so many people because everything is done. Like, if you guys understand FPS, frames per second, you understand that typically one page is one frame. And if you want really smooth looking animation, you need to have a lot of frames, which means as hard as it is to draw just one picture, imagine having to draw 60, and that's just for 1 second.
Hmm.
And you have to fill 24 minutes.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's no wonder why so many companies are moving to a lot of 3D or CGI, things like that, because you can kind of do it a little bit easier.
Well,
Because
see,
a lot of things is like you can get base frames and things like that.
in my research for this, I was researching the pros and cons of anime seasonal or ongoing, and a lot of times you'll have filler because the anime is catching up to the manga, the source material, and so the companies will be like, well, let's do a filler arc or two, a couple seasons, couple episodes to pad out the time.
Typically, they only do one arc between. Like they typically do one filler arc. But then you get into the case of Naruto, which did 52 episodes. Also, Biohazard says animation is not easy. That's why we have cursed images of a lot of animes that have beautiful animation. Very
Yep.
true. That's sort of because like it's only one frame, and it's one frame within 60 frames. So typically, most people miss it. You know?
Yes. But sometimes they're magical. They really are. Disney, old
Yeah.
school Disney, and newer Disney has that as well. I love it.
Well,
Like the one that's Gaston's like this
let's
or something.
yeah, but
But
let's be honest. Like nothing really. The problem is that nothing really beats that hand drawn feel.
no, it
It
doesn't.
just
Nothing.
it's a style in its own, and it's so beautiful, and it's just like,
Effing boss in
God,
chat says, I think it's crazy how captivating anime's art style is. Well, to them, anyways. And yes, anime's art style is
Yeah, but or just come up with a whole new storyline like Soul Eater in the first MMA or FMA. Yeah, they'll do that. That's another downfall to the ongoing series is that sometimes it goes way off the rails.
and I'm not
Oh
saying
man,
Soul Eater or the first FMA are bad, and
no,
Hellsing as well did something similar. There was Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate.
yeah,
But
well,
one thing I found out about when researching about filler is that One Piece doesn't do the filler usually the way other things do. Because normally, one episode of anime covers 24 minutes and covers 2 to 4 chapters of the manga. But One Piece will like pad out one chapter of a manga, at least from what I
well,
did. You've
that
seen it.
yeah. Well, there's a reason for that is that if you actually read One Piece, a lot can happen in one chapter. Like a lot can happen in one chapter. Sometimes, man,
But
it's
see, then the
this.
pacing. But then they suffer because of the pacing's just too slow sometimes.
I'm guessing it can be for some people, but I've never had a problem with the pacing in One Piece. I never had a problem with the pacing in its anime. And before I stopped watching to let it build up, I was on like episode freaking 600 or so, and I loved the whole way through. And now I don't remember anything that I watched because I stopped watching 300, almost 400 episodes ago. That's a long time. That's
That
years.
Bio
That
in chat
is
said Justin
years.
was not a nice person. Justin? I don't know.
I
Sorry.
believe that's Soul Eater.
Is that
I
Soul
haven't
Eater?
seen
I've
Soul Eater
seen
in a
Soul
while.
Eater, but it's been years. It's
I don't
been
know the anime for Soul Eater suffers the ongoing anime curse of just deviating so far from the manga that it's a different entity entirely. Like it the Soul Eater anime is so different from the manga because I watched the anime first and then I read the manga and then I went, "What happened? What what made them do this?" Because it's
yeah, I
just
don't I mean
so different.
it's not a bad anime,
No,
but
well, the anime ended before the manga did,
way before with a completely
which is
different
which is so weird.
yeah. And
And
then
that's
if we talk about quality for seasonal versus ongoing, the seasonal has better consistency. Like there are times, but for the most part,
well,
seasonal has better consistency, better quality, better pacing because they have more time. They have that gap in between
depends. It
to
depends on
work
the
on their
anime.
show.
Because again, I will argue that Promised Neverland's pacing was terrible.
According to you, I liked Province Neverland's pacing.
Well, you know what's great is that opinions are subjective. So
That's
my
true.
opinion is it's terrible, and I get to say that, and
Yeah,
both
you
things
do.
can be
You are
true.
allowed. Yep. I have no problem with that, and I
I
agree
can I
completely.
can hate things that you enjoy and it doesn't matter because it doesn't change how you feel about it.
No, and I'm not mad at you for that either, because we can get
I
it.
don't care that you like it. I don't like it.
And then there's also this thing called series fatigue that happens a lot with ongoing animes or
Yeah,
binge watchers.
yeah. Well, it
I
doesn't happen to me.
it's I haven't really noticed it, but sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I do need a break from this for a little bit. And
Like
it's when you've been watching one show so much you actually get tired of watching the show.
I wanna just say since December I've binged all of uh all of 3 TV shows, which so far has been Once Upon a Time, Monk, and Psych.
Ooh, Once Upon a Time, I need to finish that show. That's a good show.
Stop at season 6.
Yeah.
Once season 6 ends, don't go to season 7. It's a good ending. Season 6 is a good ending. That's where it should end.
Okay, fair enough. Do you guys ever experience seasonal fatigue, and with what shows? I mean,
Yeah, let us know down below
series
in the
fatigue.
comments.
And
I've never experienced series fatigue. I've only ever gotten to the point where I've caught up to the series and now I have to stop watching it or reading it, which kind of makes me annoyed because it's like you ever get really into something
mhm, yes,
like imagine
all
having a
you want to
sandwich.
think about, yeah.
Like imagine having a sandwich and it's the tastiest sandwich you've eaten. Like it's so good. You're eating the sandwich. You're just focused on eating that
I
sandwich.
want to
And then
say,
the sandwich is gone. And you're just left with no sandwich. And that's
uh,
how I feel about getting to the end of series where it's like I don't have any more. I
wanna
want
finish your
more.
sandwich.
I finished the sandwich. They're making more sandwiches, but it's gonna take them like forever to finish that sandwich. And I
Bio
don't
in
want to
chat
just.
says, "Okay, One Piece I do this with because it breaks my heart and I need a break after crying for hours after
Yeah,
watching
no, that's One Piece. Yeah, I understand.
One Piece." But yeah, I could get by that being
Mary,
like so emotionally devastated that you just need a break a little bit.
I have reread One Piece a multitude of times, and there's like three things, and I cry every time. I cannot get past them. Like every single time, it makes me cry, and I feel bad. I just feel
What?
sad.
Oh well, we can't really probably talk about it because
No spoilers. Horrible spoilers for those who haven't seen the series.
yeah, that's
But
fair. That's fair.
just know, God, and like One Piece Film Gold, man, has another thing like that where it's just breaks your heart, and you're just like, ah. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, we're
And the
talking
thing
again.
about the
Season 1
okay, so the gap between seasons, which has been for like
is rough.
In My Hero Academia, it's been over a
Here's
year
back to you.
since we yeah. It's been over a year since our last new season premiered of My Hero Academia. And does that but here's the question though, is it better for a series to have that hype in between sometimes?
Well, that's sort of the problem, isn't it? Because like
Yeah.
hype can only last for so long. Okay, take recent events. Cyberpunk. So Cyberpunk was supposed to come out like April of last year. It ended up delayed well into December, and it was delayed and delayed and delayed. And like it got to the point where it was delayed so much that I was telling my friends, they were like, "Oh, it's gonna come out, October. It's coming out." They said it's coming out, and I was like, "Look, man, I just can't care anymore because they keep delaying it. I just can't care. Like I can't care until it's out now. So until I can download the game, I don't care anymore." And that's sort of how I feel with like certain seasons of anime, where like No Game No Life never got a season 2. It never got a season 2. And they were talking about maybe doing a season 2 for a while, and then like it fell through, and then there was other plans of bringing it back, which is another problem with seasonal anime, is if the first season doesn't perform, you're not getting another season. And that can result in like those waiting periods where you don't know, is this going to get a second season? Is it going to be confirmed? How long till I have to wait for that second season? Sometimes it can take months and months and months, or a year, and you're just
It's
like,
like especially
you
when they end off on like really good like fight or really good scene.
yes, Bio, No Game No Life. It was
I
so
haven't seen it.
good.
Okay,
It's
bio,
so
anime night, anime night.
good. It is so good. It is fantastic, and it never got a season 2, and it sucks that it didn't get a season 2.
But
It still hurts. I'm still upset about it.
and then another thing that that might actually be better for ongoing series is some people say that the parts of the manga and seasonal are too rushed because they have to get past to get to a certain
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So you
I
have a
really haven't
time limit.
experienced that. I didn't really feel like I mean, there are a couple things it's like, wait, you could have spent a little more time on that, but it was still done because I don't read a lot of manga. I don't have the time to read a lot of manga. So
Uh,
you felt
I think
have you noticed that
I
like something was too rushed?
I felt that in Gotta High School. Gotta High School. The compared to the webtoon, like it just blazed through some of the plot lines. It just because it had to get to that end. And so there was a lot of plot lines that were just like thrown to the side, weren't talked about, they just ignored, and these were like major points that made the characters the way they were. Like one of them was our main character, Mr. Monkey Man.
Jin
uh
Jiawei or not
yeah,
Jin.
yeah. So Jin Mori. So
Jin Mori.
Jin Mori, he faced the one of the people he faced in the anime, he just beat in like one kick, and they just sort of ended it and made it a joke. But the guy was like a Taekwondo master. And the thing was is that it was Jin Mori fighting him and realizing his fighting style and seeing the difference, that he started to understand his own weaknesses, and that caused him to overcome one of his own weaknesses. So
Hmm.
by just like blowing through that, you sort of miss this development moment for Jin. And that's one problem to seasonal, is that not everything can be fleshed out the way it should be. And so you kind of counter that with, typically most seasonal anime are 12 to 13 episodes, and Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of going with 20 episodes or 24 episodes. And so that way they can still make, like, flesh it out, because the 12 episodes we watched, they did a great job at fleshing everything out and keeping it at a really good pace, while only really doing like 1 or 2 chapters per episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just fantastic.
And
Just fantastically done.
God of High School, for an entire tournament arc anime, was still a good anime. The entire anime was tournament, and the fights were
Yeah,
amazing.
because that's the first season. The first season in general is just an anime arc, and then, or just a tournament arc, and then it becomes this bigger thing.
I see. I wasn't aware there was more, because it could have ended right there, and I could have been like, "All right, this is fine." Jin's a monkey god. Spoilers for God of High School.
Yeah,
But
they go into, like, there's stuff about the spirit world that gets brought in.
should have watched it with us, okay?
You should have watched it with us. It was fantastic.
It was. It
The
was
fight
really good.
scenes were amazing.
Yes, it was. It was good, and I love the opening.
Hype.
I still listen to that opening. Still listen to that.
Upbeat, yeah, contradiction. That's the only part I really remember, because that's the only part that, like, was any
You
decent.
don't like dubstep.
I hate dubstep. It's so annoying. It's just like I hate freeform jazz.
I would not compare those two in any sort of way, but
it's just noise. Dubstep and freeform jazz are just noise.
No.
Have you heard freeform jazz?
Yes, I have, and it's
just chaos.
Look, it's music.
It is music, by definition. You are right.
Seasonal anime changes also changes studios sometimes when they have their ongoing does as well.
Yeah, because like Bleach kind of outsourced a lot of their episodes when
Chase
they were doing.
Chat says, "I enjoy the beeps and boops." As do I, Chase.
But like Bleach had some episodes where the animation was just not very good, and then some where the animation was glorious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you can tell when they had to outsource it to get it done fast. Because those episodes looked terrible. But then there was one episode where Ichigo's fighting Grimjaw, and he gets punched in the face, and his like blood splatters. Grimjaw.
Grimjaw.
No, his name is Grimjaw.
Grimjaw.
His name is Grimjaw. That's the official name.
Like we've been through this before.
It's literally, his official name is pronounced Grimjaw. You can argue with me. That's what his official name is. So, anyways, the point is he punches Ichigo, blood comes out, and like the blood's flying in the air, and they drew like reflections of the city in the blood and the moonlight shining off of it, and you're like, that's gorgeous. And then the next episode is just like a gray red blob, and you're just like, that's you outsourced it that time. I see the difference. One studio clearly took a lot of time and love, and the other studio was like, we gotta get this done!
Look, and then there's some scenes in Naruto, like, some of the fights are beautiful and dramatic and amazing. Like, Sasuke versus, what the heck is his name? The Donzo. Donzo. Sasuke versus Donzo. That was an amazing fight. Itachi versus Sasuke. It was amazing. Like, it was the music, the animation. It was
Naruto versus Sasuke,
and then the rest of the show just
come on. I wish we had
that Naruto makes now and then with the big lips and like the.
I wish we had owl-headed Sasuke firing up his katana, where he's like, his head's all twisted back all weird, and his like neck's elongated, his arms all like. Rawr.
Yes,
exactly. Some of the Naruto versus Sasuke fights. Oh man, some of those scenes.
In chat says Attack on Titan changed to Mappa Studio. Yes. Oh, and Biohazard in chat says Kakashi and blank fight. If you know, you know. Blank is a spoiler.
Can I still be upset? Can I still be upset about what they did to Kakashi at the end there? I'm still mad about that.
That's fine.
Look, man, that's fine. They said Kakashi was going to go on a rampage, and they stole it. They stole it from us. They took it from us. They didn't put it in the manga. They didn't animate it. And even the video game took it away from me. I'm mad about that. I'm never going to live that down. And I'll never allow any of those studios to live that down either.
I think someone's playing music at some other part of my house. I don't know if that's coming over. If it is, I really am sorry.
You were talking about dubstep, so now people have to listen to it. It's just
Look, you're probably right. I don't know. I got spies in here somewhere. What the heck? But anyway, yeah, just some of the scenes are beautiful and well. It's like, let's focus on these scenes and then forget the rest of the anime. Just let the 3-year-olds draw it or something. You know what I mean?
At least that's a problem that befalls both genres of anime making. At least it befalls both of them. But like, yeah, so the whole point when we're talking seasonal versus ongoing in the first place is because like everything has its downfalls. Nothing is perfect. And the question becomes, like, do we want to trade off filler for no anime? Because those are really, like, those are the two big things. You either are going to have a lot of filler, or you're going to have months without anime.
And then there's another thing to consider, too. Are you going to watch it weekly, or are you a binge watcher? I'm a binge watcher.
I'm a hardcore binge watcher.
I'm a binge watcher. I will wait until, if it's just something I'm watching casually, that I will wait until everything's out and I'll like consume it just all in one go. And most time I wait for a dub as well, so I can just sit back and have a good time and just watch the whole thing as much as I can. And you know, if I'm a binge watcher, I don't want that filler. I watch it because there's something wrong with me.
As a binge watcher, you can just skip the filler.
Yeah, this is true. I know I can.
Like, just skip the Naruto filler. None of it's worth it. None of the filler is worth it.
But see, I want to be able to watch it all and be like, yeah.
I'm a binge
watcher. Wear the medal on my chest. I watched the crap filler as well. So take that.
Look, I have that badge. I have the filler hell badge. It's not worth it. I literally was on a forum at the time and I posted, I watched all of filler hell so you don't have to. Don't watch it. It's terrible. I've complained about it a lot. I'm still stuck on the Naruto makes ramen with a Rasengan thing. It's burned
like that was
into
not
my memory. Why? Just like, why?
There's lots of great animes out there, but Naruto is gonna go down as like the greatest or the worst for filler. Naruto Part 1, so Child Naruto had 2 years of weekly episodes of filler. 2 years.
52 episodes. 52 in one long, like, it had more filler than that, but it had a solid 52 straight weeks of filler. 52 straight weeks of filler. Do you know?
That's a lot.
It's ridiculous.
That's just so much, and I've watched it. And here's the thing, that I believe that's even the filler after the show actually ended, right?
No, the manga was still long going, all of it.
No, the original Naruto, because there was a block that after Naruto, or actually just before Naruto, little minor spoilers for Naruto Part 1. Naruto leaves with Jiraiya, and he does training, and then there's a time skip, and then Naruto Shippuden starts. But either it's like 1 or 2 episodes before that, or just after that, they put in that massive block.
I'm gonna state that for those of you who read the manga, there was no real Part 2 or anything like that. It just did a time skip, which is common in animes. They do a time skip, but for the anime, they decided to make it its whole new thing. I don't know why.
That's weird. Let's see.
Yeah.
Chase in chat says, "I'm a bin watcher." Listen, I like to watch the bin. Okay. Biohazard is also a binge watcher. They say, I've watched all 3 seasons of Cobra Kai in 2 days. Wow.
Yeah, I can do that.
That's a lot.
Is Ralph Macchio?
That's a lot.
Ralph Macchio?
That's.
I like me some Ralph Macchio.
But anyway, and you know, does it also, the hype, make the animes overrated as well when we have the seasonal versus ongoing, you know, because there's still hype for ongoing, like, oh, you have to wait a whole season, a whole X amount of months.
You have to wait a week.
Yeah. or for your show to come back, you know, or whatever.
You know
but
what it feels
mine
like?
are
Okay, I have to say this. It sort of feels like back in like the old 1940s, 1950s radio programs. Do you know what I mean? You'll see it in a lot of shows. If you watch a lot of older movies, or you watch a lot of shows, or you are interested in getting into radio, you learn a lot about this stuff. Like I was actually thinking about making a radio drama, and I watched it. And so they used to have these weekly radio dramas, and the whole point was like detective dramas and things like that. And everything was,
detectives,
everything was find out next week, and it was a weekly thing. It was
Ball.
always going. No, it's literally like that. And that's sort of like what ongoing anime is it's sort of like, oh, Luffy's in a scrape. What'll happen next week? Tune in next time to see the shocking conclusion to One Piece. You know, that sort of thing.
And
then
cliffhangers and stuff like that gets people coming back to listen to more.
And that's what you can do with like ongoing. You can always drop a cliffhanger at the end of every episode to get people to come back. And with seasonal, when you drop a cliffhanger at the end of a season, you're a monster. You're a monster, and you should feel ashamed of yourself, because you know no one's going to be able to find out for 9 months. Like literally, you can have a child in that time period before it comes out.
Yep.
You can make a person. That's my point. You monster frisbee, yes. But
you monster frisbee.
Like, it's sort of like Promised Neverland. Season 1 ends on a cliffhanger, pretty much. Like it's just like.
And honestly, I'm waiting. But I've not
seen
good reviews of season 2's first 2 episodes so far. So.
Nor have I. Which made me go,
I haven't spoiled it for myself. I'm waiting, but I've seen people go, "This was poo," and I'm like, I'm hoping it picks up. You didn't like it at all, so you don't care either way, but I do. So.
No, I feel justified in my opinion.
Okay, well, there's also like it's broken up into seasons. Like I looked this up, and I did probably way too much research than what's necessary. But
I did no research because it's based off of what I've seen in my own opinion.
Is what the seasons are called. They're French for quarter or quarter year. Is cour? I don't.
It's just like seasonal TV shows.
Yeah, and one cour, however you pronounce the word, is 3 months, and that's why it's COUR, cour.
Yeah, it's quarter. Yeah, it's quarterly. It's like if you have a business, a lot of the times you'll pay quarterly taxes, and those are done 4 times a year. Every 3 months.
So and that's what we mean by seasonal.
Taxes sucks paying once a year. Imagine having to pay it 4 times.
And it also comes out in what I mean. Like one,
it comes out in blocks.
Is usually a cour, a season.
Yeah, it's a quarter. One season is a quarter. It's a monthly quarter.
Exactly.
3-month quarter. It's a quarter of a year.
That because I went out of my way to look up what that meant, and I thought everyone else needs to know about this random French word that apparently does relate to anime.
But what does it add? But what does it add?
Knowledge, DC. It adds knowledge.
But now I have that fact. No picture. No, I need answers. Okay, I need answers, and not for this topic, but for what's coming up. I need answers. I have a lot of questions and no answers. And that's why you don't end on a cliffhanger for seasons, by the way, because it leaves me needing answers, and I've got anxiety, and that just builds.
That's going to make you come back to watch more, though. Okay,
so it just makes me mad.
On our topic, what do you prefer, DC? Seasonal or ongoing anime?
I kind of prefer ongoing.
Ongoing?
Even with filler? Even with the filler, because sometimes the filler's fun. Sometimes it's fun. One Piece has fun filler. Like One Piece did a lot of fun, and like I enjoyed the Bount arc. I'm like one of the few people that enjoyed it. I also
burn him.
I liked the Bount arc. There was a lot of emotion there. I didn't care for the 3 mod souls that they added in, but the Bounts themselves. Yeah, that was the problem. They shouldn't have kept those around. Yeah, but like okay, if you take the 3 mod souls out of the Bount arc, it's a solid arc. That's all you have to do is take those 3 souls out, because it's a solid arc without them. the main villain is intriguing, at least. The main villain actually has, like, a purpose. He's no Aizen, but, I mean, nobody's Aizen. Aizen is, like, the greatest villain next to probably Buggy the Clown.
Mom's Aizen. I don't know. I don't
know what that was about. No, man, Buggy the Clown is the second greatest. I love Buggy the Clown.
Oh, Buggy the Clown.
He's a pirate clown. I love him.
Okay.
But
look, I don't mind the waiting. I do like, I'm more of a binge watcher. I'm more of a sit back and wait type of person. But I do not mind, like, if anime I absolutely have to watch, I would prefer to watch it seasonal. Get less of a filler, streamline through it, get better animation. I'm more down with that.
I'm a binge watcher too, but I can just skip the filler. That's what I like about being a binge watcher with this.
What are you
ongoing.
guys?
Are you seasonal or are you ongoing?
And are you a binge watcher? We already kind of went over that.
Do you binge or do you not binge?
No, I binge.
I binge.
So much.
Do you binge or do you purge anime? Do you purge it from your watch list? Have you not done that? Have you never had an anime that you plan to watch? Like I create lists of anime that I plan to watch, and there's times where I'll go through the first like episode or two and hate it, and I purge it from my list. It's gone. Get rid of it. No more.
I don't think that I've ever really done that, because usually if I'm going to watch an anime, I'm going to watch it. No, most of the time, if I don't watch ones I don't like, I've never actually, when I want to see this anime, sat down to watch the anime and went, I don't like this. I don't think I've ever done that.
How am I supposed to know if I like it if I don't watch it? Just like with how you treat little kids. How do you know you don't like broccoli if you don't try it?
Because
turns out,
and it looks funny and sounds funny, and I don't want to waste my time.
It's delicious. Broccoli is delicious.
I like raw broccoli dipped in ranch. Anyway,
cooked broccoli dipped in cheese. Fantastic.
We're real healthy, TC. Look at us go. Nathan Chat says seasonal and binge.
Seasonal binge.
I think we should actually mention one of our otaku news right now before we delve into our next topic.
Yes, it's a very important bit of news.
Wait, Biohazard in chat says, I like both. I like looking forward to watching the next season, but I also like to binge. I'm in Dressrosa in One Piece, and I like that I have more.
Oh, Dressrosa. So good. So good.
Dressrosa. I said it wrong.
Dressrosa.
But anyway, yeah, let's get into one of our topics, because this is where normally I would ask.
What about news?
Oh, yes, you're right. DC, what Anime Club is. And we're not doing it right now.
We're doing Anime Club, but we're not streaming it. So we can't watch the episodes with you, but we can watch them with you in spirit. It's sort of like book club. You don't technically read the book together, but you all have the same book and you all read it.
Anime Club watch parties hosted by YoJack are closed until further notice. So right now, you guys are responsible for watching your own episodes.
You gotta watch it on your own. I'm sorry. I'm sure most of you already did that, though.
Hopefully.
Not much has changed. But yes.
We're going to talk about them.
We will talk about them.
Yay! So hopefully we'll get Anime Club going again soon, but for now, we're going to talk about it. Which one are we going to talk about first, actually?
I don't know. I'm disappointed in all of you who voted because you didn't vote for Skate. We could have had Kiss-themed rock and roll skateboarding clowns. You understand this?
I don't want to watch an anime about skateboarding.
I don't want to watch an anime about esports, but guess what? Look at that! Kiss-themed rock and roll skateboarding clowns! Come on!
I think DC might be just a little bit salty.
Come on!
We put up our anime picks for vote, and both of mine won.
Yeah, but one of yours is terrible.
You're terrible. Some people enjoyed it.
I know, Bio. I know. We could have had it, Bio. We could have.
Anyway, let's talk about Dr. Vermilion, Mysterious Disease Specialist first.
Okay, I'm just confused to how I feel about that one. So that one's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, can we kind of rush through it? Because I did kind of talk about this episode.
We talked about this at the end of last season. If you guys don't remember, it was one of the winter animes on the list. Basically, to run through the basic premise, doctor solves weird mysteries, diseases that come about from bad spirits entering a weakened heart.
Yeah, so pretty much things that normal doctors cannot treat. And our girl in question...
Or don't believe exist.
Yes. Our girl in question is a young little childhood actress who can cry on command, but recently she's been crying condiment tears. And
she cries mayo and
soy sauce, fish sauce, ketchup, soup broth, I think was one of them.
Yeah, so we did talk about it last time. Basically, she has a Hollywood mom. For those of you who've never worked in Hollywood, like I have, Hollywood moms are the worst. No, this is true. They are the worst. And they are well captured in this episode. They're the type of parent, in general, that forces their kid into the whole acting shtick, even though the kid might not want to do it, and pretty much takes all their money. Like Gary Coleman's parents. If you guys didn't know about that story, that was a thing that happened. His parents pretty much took all of his money. It was horribly sad. And that's what this mom does to her daughter. She spends all of her daughter's money that her daughter earns on like designer clothes and handbags and jewelries.
If you're willing to exploit your child to become
next season, Chase, we're voting for Skate. Everyone vote for Skate next season. Set that up now. But yeah, so here's...
use our same... Oh, yes, we can use our same pics.
Yes, we can! It's animes. We can't use the same movie pics. So here's my problem with Dr. Ramue Condiment Tears. I don't know how to feel. I like Dr. Ramune. I think he's a fun character. I think the concept could be funny. Here's the issue. The concept can and should be funny. Not treat a serious issue with comedy in the way it does, because the little girl basically has horrible, like, repressed emotions and ends up just super repressing them, and the condiments build up in her body, and she's going to die from condiments build up.
Pretty much, instead of using the truth serum tea that he
gives. Yeah. Well, it's his teapot. The teapot of loose lips. He has a teapot of loose lips that he gives her, which is she's supposed to drink tea from, and that will make her say her true emotions. But because mommy didn't like it when she said she doesn't want to work anymore, she decided to use the contact lenses that he gave her, which will stop the condiments from coming out. But basically, she's dead inside.
Yeah, she pretty much spirals to a deep depression, and then she starts getting necrosis.
Yes, she gets necrosis from soy sauce buildup and mayonnaise buildup.
But she can go back to work.
How?
And makes her mom's happy, and I still loved it that when all this, the climax of the episode was when she collapsed, and the news crew was over there doing an MTV Cribs thing at her house. And Dr. Ramune just hops in through the window.
Yeah, that's sort of... See, that's the thing, is that it should have been funny. But I can't laugh when a little girl is dying. That's my problem.
Why you gotta make me feel bad for laughing?
Because the little girl was dying of too much soy sauce building up in her system because she couldn't cry it out. The concept is ridiculous, but I can't laugh at it because, once more, a little girl is dying, and her mom is a horrible person.
Is it bad that I laughed anyway when he popped through the window?
Yes. Well, that part is a little funny. Then it's like the whole thing of, look, he came in through the window, but now he's talking about how the little girl has necrosis, and it's just like, thanks, anime. Now I can't laugh at this. I can't. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. Am I supposed to laugh or feel bad?
That was intentional. Look, his antics are funny, but this is really serious. Well, I thought they balanced it well.
But it's not serious because she's dying from condiments. You understand the concept? Typical
concept. Can you not enjoy just the concept being silly and whimsical on its own?
No, because the concept, what they're doing is not silly and whimsical. The problem is you can't have you can't have little girl dying with an abusive mom and silly and whimsical.
But it's trying to teach a lesson as well as do silly and the thing. And I'm okay with that. I enjoyed the anime.
I don't know if other episodes handle it better. Then yeah, but I don't like, because the way it's done is, it's like, are you making a mockery of the subject, or
I didn't take it as they were making a mockery of it, because when Dr. Amui was treating her, he became from his jokester derpiness to
he turned dark,
compassionate. No,
he
was
turned dark.
compassionate.
No, he was dark. He literally looked at the mother and said, I can bring back 10 bags and 10 diamonds. You just have to sacrifice an arm.
Serious,
that's not enough.
though.
Yeah, he
mother
became
would not have
dark.
listened.
Yes.
The mother wouldn't have listened for anything
else. He literally had like the shady anime like dark look.
I wasn't just talking about that scene, but
yeah,
yes.
that's what I mean though. That's what I'm saying though, is that I would have preferred an anime that was more played up the ridiculousness and didn't have someone dying of necrosis from soy sauce overdose.
Well, you didn't like it, so
I don't care. I don't care. Like, be mad at me all anybody wants. Like, I'm saying anybody wants, but legitimately, I can't take the anime serious, and I also can't take it as a comedy. So I don't know what it's supposed to be, and I don't know who it's for.
Before you continue,
again, I'm just saying it's this episode in general.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying this episode. Like, I like the concept of the anime. I like the idea of a doctor dealing with funny haha diseases in a funny haha way, where you already have like his sidekick Kuro, who's very stern and serious, and so that should be like the anime, is nobody like taking the disease thing serious, because it's like, I'm crying mayonnaise, and the doctor just does like weird like, drink from this teapot, and people are confused. Play up the funniness of it, and you can have like a little bit of seriousness, with the daughter, but not dying of soy sauce necrosis, because that's just, it's too ridiculous to be sad, but at the same time it's too sad to be funny.
I thought they balanced it well.
I really no.
I agree that you can have your own opinion, but I thought they balanced it well. But yeah, anyway, so pretty much the way for it to get reversed is the girl has to release all those pent up feelings, and it destroys all of her mom's finery in like this light show.
He makes a deal that the mom has to pay for her to be cured. He forces her to drink like all the tea from the teapot, and it destroys all the mom's possessions.
Yeah.
And then mommy realizes that she'd rather have her daughter than all the stuff.
Which is great. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's a good end lesson.
And then the very end, we get a lovely little picnic lunch with the sakura blossoms falling.
Where mommy makes homemade lunches for everybody, which is nice, because the whole thing was the little girl wanted to eat her homemade cooked food. Again, though, it's like I told you guys in chat, like I talked in our chat, it's sort of like Bobobo doing a very special episode on like spousal abuse. That's what it feels like. It's like Bobobo doing a very special episode on like they used to do PSAs in TV shows all the times. You'd have like the very special episode, like the episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is typically a funny haha show, but like Carlton gets shot, so it's just like the very special episode of dealing with that, or drugs and things like that. That's what this felt like. It was like a comedy trying to do a very special episode.
I guess. I just view it as something different. I view it as this is the way, like, it's going to balance the darker tones with the lighter humor, and we just have to take from it what we will.
You can't do
Don't
little girl dying of soy sauce.
You can't.
I'm not telling you can't. I'm saying you can't balance little girl dying of soy sauce. You just, it's not funny. But it's not.
That part wasn't meant. Okay, we can sit here and argue about this. You are geared up and primed and ready for our next show. I know you are.
I hated it. I like, at least Dr. Ramune, I just felt confused, but I liked the characters. Like, that's also kind of what's confusing. Is like, I really like him as a character. I'm hoping the next episode is a bit more on the comedy side, because I want it to be a comedy. That's what I want from it. And then this one was just boring, and the character was uninteresting.
The next anime we watched was The King's Avatar, which is actually a Chinese animation.
I don't even know what the episode title was. I never saw an episode title.
I did not actually. I didn't see.
I couldn't find that episode title. I was like, "What's the episode title of this?"
Did we give it a Google? Anyway, while you Google that, and
what if I Bing it?
No, don't Bing things. What is wrong
Leaf of Autumn.
You're just trying to make everyone angry today, trying to Bing things. But anyway,
I can DuckDuckGo it.
Stop. Get some help. Anyway, so
like DuckDuckGo.
We start out talking about Glory. It's a massive MMORPG
10
game.
years of esports.
130 million players worldwide. It's its 10-year anniversary. And there's one clear best player in the world. The Battle God. YQ with his avatar, One Autumn Leaf.
It's a really weird name for a character.
We get a scene where a boss is but it's Chinese. I bet it.
I prefer the avatar Lord Grimm.
But Avatar
so
Lord
you guys
Grimm
know.
had a much longer name. I wrote it down. We'll get to it. I know we will. But anyway, so we see a scene where a boss is tearing up 100-man team, and
it's a 100-man dungeon.
Yes.
Have you never done a raid? You never played an MMO and done a raid?
No. I know what they are, though. I'm not that much of a noob. I did have to Google some terms that I will explain the meanings of when we get to them. Because I'm not into esports either, but I can still appreciate this anime for what it is.
For those of you who've never played an MMO, a raid boss is typically very powerful. Because, again, it requires 100 people to defeat it.
Yes, anyway. So, they see a boss, and he's tearing up the 100-man team, and One Autumn Leaf just comes in and wrecks it. And YQ's character, and he's in his team, Excellent Era, and you find out that they are 3 consecutive champion winners. They've won the champion for 3 times. And then we see a girl running, and something about we hear an announcement. Yes, we hear an announcement that the new server is going to be up and running because it's a 10-year anniversary tonight, and they're launching a brand new server at midnight. Then we have a meeting at Team Excellent Era's HQ with YQ and a blonde girl come up to meet the rest of the team. And it's the manager, I believe he's a manager, gray-haired, glasses, real big jerk. And he's like, the team's lost a lot this time, guys. And your captain's being replaced by a new player, Sun Yang.
You missed her talking to YQ to get him to go to the place. And they had, for some reason, a really high-quality CGI chair and jacket. Like, really high-quality CGI. Look, there's nothing else to talk about in this episode, all right? Because you're almost done with what happens in the episode.
I am literally only at the very beginning.
Nothing else happens after that. They go to the meeting, and basically they want to kick YQ out. He's going to have to hand over the avatar, One Autumn Leaf, to the new guy, because the new guy's younger, but at the same time, the reason that they want YQ out isn't just because he's 25, because that's a ridiculous reason to get him out. No, it was
what esports players, they play until they're 18 to 20, and then that's like it.
Again, though, they were also talking about, if you paid attention to what they were talking about, the guys were talking about, he didn't like YQ at all because YQ wouldn't accept a lot of the payments and a lot of the jobs that the team manager wanted him to take.
Did you not pay attention? Because he wouldn't.
That's literally what the manager was talking about.
He accept endorsements and commercial ads.
Which is what the manager wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I said. A lot of the payments.
Advertise himself.
Yes, which, guess what? When you have a team and you have the main guy, the big guy with the best avatar and the highest level, and he's not participating, you're losing out on a lot of revenue.
But
so the team wanted him out.
For that. He wasn't in it for the commercial. He didn't want to be a sellout.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about why they wanted him off the team. One of the reasons. The manager's point of view of, we need to make money. You not wanting to do that is affecting the rest of the team, which affects the manager's money. Yes, the reason they're kicking him out is they are greedy. Greedy, money.
Anyway, so he's forced over to hand over his player's card. And he reminds, as he gives it to the new player, he reminds him like, play for the love of the game, not for the money of it, kind of thing.
Well, he
And-
literally just asks him, "Do you love the game?" And the guy doesn't answer. He's like, "Do you love the game?" And he's just like,
And he's like, okay, fine, take care of it. And he lets go. And the manager's like, oh, I have no other accounts for you, so you're just on training. And EQ's like, no, forget it. I quit.
Yeah,
And
he
so
wants to quit, but the manager says you have to pay the fee. There's a fine.
Yeah, because he's
if you guys don't know, a lot of contracts, if you sign it, there's a fee to get out of the contract before the contract's over.
Yeah, and so he wants to renegotiate the contract terms, and they pretty much do. And he's got the manager already has one already.
They don't renegotiate contract terms. He signs retirement agreement.
Yeah, well,
the only way out is to retire. So he agrees for retirement, so that way he doesn't have to pay the fine. But retired players can't come back for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't. He has to stay out of the pro leagues for a year.
So the blonde girl that's with him is very angry about it, and UQ just signs it, and
he doesn't care.
They go outside and they chat, him and the blonde chick, and he's like, I have nothing to offer that team anymore. It's commercialized now, and he has no commercial value. He will rest for a year and then come back, is what he tells her. And then we see Guy talking to the manager, and he's like, why did he accept? And pretty much because of the fact that he does not have the money.
Because he's been spending all of his money on his friends. Pretty much the way it goes is that a lot of people try to get into the professional game. They fail. They don't have a job. They don't have money from any of the income or any endorsements or anything. So he's been paying his buddies, giving them money and stuff like that.
People devote all of their time to this game so they can't make side income. And then when they fail or get out of it...
It's kind of like, look, man, you gotta have a job. You gotta have some way to make money.
This is supposed to be their way to make money, but it just doesn't work that way. But some of them have no life skills because they poured so much of their time into this. And so that's why he refuses, because he literally cannot afford to pay the fee, and he can't afford to take care of himself. So the manager's like kind of evilly laughing, like, he's good, ha ha ha.
That part is kind of like a good commentary, though, on how some people allow that to take up too much of their life. Like, these guys spent so much of their time trying to get good that they let everything else fall to the wayside, and now they're kind of SOL. Which is sad. It's just sad.
Look, if that's their career and what they're devoting their time to, then good for them. If they make it big, great. If they don't, well, that sucks. That happens with just about any other career industry you go into. Like, if it doesn't work out,
have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan.
Fair, but
like even people who try to get into YouTube or Twitch, they say have a backup plan. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, people. This is a good lesson for that.
So then Yiku goes to an internet cafe and he gets a computer and he sits next to someone playing Glory, a launcher class, as he says. This lady's bloodthirsty. Find out she's been playing for 5 years.
52 losses.
And she's got 52 losses, 0 wins, and she's angry, and she leaves her game, and EQ jumps on her game and wins. And it only took 40 seconds, mind you, for him.
Because he was cold. He could have done it in 30.
Yes. And she's like, oh, who is this guy? Have this little back and forth over who he is. And then she like takes his player card, or the card he signed up for library or the computer with. And it says, what did it say?
E-U-E.
E or something like that. And then pretty much this is a kind of a long sequence. I found it all entertaining, but there's a job required. There's a job there.
He gets a job as the net cafe like manager for night
she
manager.
Says only if he pulls an all-nighter playing Glory with her.
And beats her. He has to beat her.
Yeah, that's right. Beat her. And he also tries to tell her that, hey, look, I was one autumn leaf. And she's like, no, you weren't.
Well, he says, I am Yiku. And she's like, you're not Yiku. I'm Ni Chang. And he's like, and then he makes a character called Lord Grimm. And she's like, where'd you get that name? And he's like, Ni Chang gave it to Ni Chang came up with it.
Yeah, so they're pulling
Da, 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 da.
to find where that's not actually his entire avatar name. Oh, but he's sitting there reading the newbie guide while he's eating she also sends him to go get snacks and he's just like highly offended by that.
Yes, everyone. Thrilling snack getting.
Anyway, and the whole cafe counts down as the new server's getting ready to launch and he's reading the newbie guide and she mocks him and he's like, "What? It's been like 10 years since I did the basics. Leave me alone." And she also is like, "Well, I'm Su Mu Chung," which is actually the blonde girl that he was with before.
Because he was saying, I am her. I am Yi Che. He's like, yeah, and I am Siyu Jong.
And
Yeah,
they go
and I
back
was
and
like,
forth. And so he named his character, "Seeing the fallen soldier drunk on the battlefield, the Lord does not laugh but remains grim." And it's short to Lord Grim. And that's when she's like, "Oh, that's an interesting name. Where'd you get that from?" And he's like, "Oh, Su Mu Chung made it up for me." And she laughs at him again. So he gets into game. He's in a starter town. There's so many players. It's just overpacked, overpopulated. And he has to start doing like the starter missions, very like fetch and carry.
It skips all the starter missions.
We get to see like little
You
shots.
get one image.
There's like 4.
One image from each mission.
Okay. Anyway,
I would have liked to have seen
he gets
a little bit more.
goes and finds. Oh, you okay? A little bit of. Oh, wow, these are boring starter missions. You would complain about.
Hey, they can. At least it would have been something. It would have been something that was video game related.
Anyway, so he goes and gets a weapon. It's like this lance. It's a level 5
lance.
He
Which
has
apparently you could level up.
He has great memories with this lance. Apparently, you get to see like little flashbacks of him getting the lance. When we go to a little bit later, his boss is asleep, and he gets an invite to a party to go to a dungeon called Green Forest.
To beat up the Midnight Phantom Cat.
If it appears, And
if it appears and it's super rare drop.
The host is
MMO stuff.
Loud and bossy and pushy, promising to make all the newbies rich. Lord Grimm only types because she's sleeping right next to him, so he doesn't get on the voice chat. And he asks how they split loot, and he's like, we'll roll for it. No worries. So they go in the game, the party's full of newbies, and they're all just... And Lord Moon, Uncle Moon, is just showboating. Newbies all worship the ground he walks on, and Lord Grimm's just not impressed at all. He's just like... Right. Anyway, so then the boss appears. It's this big black cat, and it's worth a lot, I guess. So if they take it down, then it's the first kill on the server, and their names will be broadcasted. So that's like a big deal. Are you with me here, DC?
No, this is like the only time that stuff happens, and the main character basically just sits back and lets all the newbies die.
Well, there's a reason for it, though.
Yes, because Mr. Lance dude, or Mr. Guy dude, is... His whole plan is... Okay, so, here's the thing that happens. This actually does happen a lot in MMOs, where you will have people that will take advantage of newbies who don't really know the system, and they use them and abuse them and take all their stuff and then leave. A lot of the times, it's like similar to people that'll go to like drop zones. If you guys have ever played an MMO and you go and you need like a certain item, there are people that will just go there as like a high level for low level quests and kill everything so that you can't get that item, and you either have to team up with them or buy it from them, because their whole goal is to make sure that you can't get it. So you have to get it from them. And that's sort of like what his goal is to get the newbies to do some damage to it, so that he can kill it and get all the drops without having to do all the work.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much that's his goal. And Lord Grimm, which is YQ, recognizes that. And so he kind of just stays back. He heals a little bit, but he just kind of watches.
He doesn't even heal. He keeps saying it's on cooldown.
He cast one healing spell.
On himself. Or on the one wizard dude.
It was on the one newbie. And then but Uncle Moon isn't bad, but they keep going till the boss gets into red and the newbies.
No, the boss wasn't in the red. The guy even states that it still has too much health. His whole point is it still has so much. Well, because the boss is like almost at full health, kills all the newbies, and is fighting the douchey guy, and the douchey guy's just like, what are you doing? And then the main character's like, oh, I know what you were doing. You're doing this. And he's just like, yeah.
Uncle Moon is like pinned by the cat. He's like, quick, heal. And he's like, no, if I heal you right now, it'll OT. And pretty much that means that he'll get the aggro. The aggro from the boss will be focused on him. Uncle Moon's plan is to have the cat kill all of them, and then Uncle Moon finishes it off. Because despite of all of Uncle Moon struggling, his health and mana bars are still pretty much full. So then the cat gets faster and stronger, and Grim calls him out, and he's like, you set up this all up on purpose so the noobs die and you get all the loot, and you have been playing this whole time. And Uncle Moon's like, you can't solo this by yourself. He's like, all right, how about we team up? We'll get 50-50. And Grim's like, I'd rather have 100. And like this, he starts glowing, and he goes to attack the boss, and then end credits.
And then nothing happens.
And then after credits, his boss mocks him for his chosen skill sets. And I couldn't see it because there was like something blocking the screen. I couldn't see all of what she said, but they have like his skill points are all over the place. And she's like laughing at him because it's a waste of his skill points. And he's like, yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's going to be a waste of his skill points. I think
no, it's not going to be. He's going to be the overpowered hero. It's the typical webtoon. If you guys have not read webtoons, they're pretty much all the same. Overpowered hero.
Not the webtoons I read.
You probably don't read webtoons that are like normal webtoons.
I read Castle Swimmer. And the one Zombies versus Unicorns one, which I thought I read it as a wall, and then I got invested in it.
So let me explain something that Angels glossed over. This anime is a mixture of 2D anime and 3D CGI, and it's not well blended. There's a lot of moments where the CGI just looks like friggin' PS2 graphics. One example is when he's sitting at the desk and it pulls back and it shows all the people in the net cafe. They all look terrible. They're horribly like blocky and blurry. But for some reason, there's this one chair in the opening that's like super high quality. It looks like Captain Harlock. Like, you guys, we watched Captain Harlock. Hopefully you guys remember that. It's like that level of CGI quality, sort of like Advent Children, you know, where it's just like really high def, high quality. Like you can see little bumps on the chair. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. Why? Why is it CGI and 2D? Why isn't it just all CGI? Or why isn't it all 2D? Why is it this weird mixture of the two? Why are the chairs CGI but the people 2D? Why?
I don't know, but I'm okay with it. I didn't nitpick it. I didn't even notice all these things that you're complaining about because I just watched
when there's nothing else happening, I have to look at the art.
I just watched the show and I thought it was decent, and I'm keen to see more.
So far, the most interesting character in the series is his boss, because she has a personality.
I think she's kind of a mean lady.
She has a personality. The ex-manager's personality is just evil. Like, he can't be normal. Everything he says is sinister. Like, you notice that when he was talking the whole time, it was just like nothing he said could come out normal. Everything was sinister and like backstabby.
Yeah.
Even the other guy was just all sinister and backstabby, even when he's gone.
Anime. And they're kind of new to the standardized game like this, so standardized.
Oh, no, they're not. I've seen some Chinese media that's really solid. I watch a lot of Jet Li movies. All right. Those old kung fu movies, those are solid. They know how to do villains.
That's not anime. Anyway.
It doesn't matter. That's writing. It's all about how to write.
You gonna tell us about your writing book again?
No, I'm gonna tell you about how Chinese media typically has really good stories, but this one just wasn't there.
Well, I disagree. I was invested in the story. I want to see
I am not.
Teach his manager a lesson by rising to the top again with Lord Grimm, and in a year going into it, I want to see him come back underdog, up from the ashes. Well,
he doesn't really want to. He just wants to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I want
he just wants
just playing I want him to show people his ideals and why he quit and the corruption of monetizing the industry like that.
There's no problem with monetizing the industry. It's how you make money. You got to make money somehow. You got to make money to live.
And yeah,
so,
that's fine, but you don't need to make it over the top. But anyway, we'll find out more about that on episode 2 of both of those animes, which I thought were fantastic. DC has mixed
do not
feelings
care.
on that.
I do not care about the King's Avatar at all. This is not something I would choose to watch. And if the animation stays the way it is and the story stays the way it is, I am going to really not care at all. It is not well done.
Who knows? It could get better. So
it's sad because the 2D animation is actually really well done, but the 3D is just so poorly done in stark contrast to that.
I didn't think it was that bad. But anyway, we'll move on to our
Watch it for yourself.
Yes, watch it for yourself. Tell us what you guys think.
Tell us what you think. And I think if you actually pay attention to the animation, you'll agree with me.
I think if you pay attention to the story and the show in general, I think you'll enjoy it like I did.
There's no real story.
Anyway, so on to Empire news. Now we can tell you guys the rest of our Empire news this time is obviously, if you guys can tell, we have a new overlay. Isn't it nice?
Yes,
it's fantastic.
we have a new overlay. It is fantastic. We've got our links below.
We do. All of our links, and Chase is doing an amazing job keeping it running, and Yojak made it for us, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. But yeah, it looks great, and it's going to look awesome too, because Cole has her little editor's comment box down there. She can throw
we
up
even have a little hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, and look, if you want to sponsor us, we could talk about your thing. But anyway, so that's awesome. We also have a new YouTube thumbnail coming up.
Yes, we'll have thumbnails.
Yeah, it's awesome. Also made up by, I believe Yojak made that one as well. So very, very cool. You guys won't be able to see that till it comes up on our YouTube channel on Friday.
So if you're watching this on YouTube on Friday, hey, how was the thumbnail? You like it?
I hope you liked it. Leave a like and a comment if you liked it. And then
don't forget to share.
Yeah, please. And then Otaku Empire is looking for a new community manager to host Anime Club on the weekends, as well as manage community events alongside our marketing director, Aaliyah. So hey, if you guys want to help out the Empire, if you want to be a community manager and get Anime Club going again so we can all watch it together, PM the people. The right people. Who are the right people?
Who are the right people?
In our Discord, even hit up me or DC, and we can get you to the right people. Yojak
we can point you to the right people.
Yeah, Yojak probably is the person to go to. But just pop into our Discord and strike up a conversation with one of us, and we'll get you to the right person. I don't know where I went with the accent there. Anyway, and always,
I don't know.
We have amazing, wonderful Patreons that just are the best, period. And you can fight me on it if you want to, but I think this is something DC and I can agree on.
I'm not going to fight you on our Patrons being awesome.
They are. If anyone disagrees, I'll fight you. You on me, okay?
I'll just fight you on the King's Avatar.
Whatever. You can all you want. I am not phased in the slightest. Good stuff.
Could have watched Kiss-themed rock and roll skateboard.
You're just salty because your skateboard anime lost.
It just looks so much more interesting.
Anyway, yeah, skateboards.
Stuff
happens. You want to do skateboards? But anyway, our Patreons are Chase Harvey, who is a Soul Reaper tier, Zach Cake, who is a Jonine, Lissa XO, Soul Reaper, and Adam Sherpinski. Adam S. is Soul Reaper. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys want to be a Patreon, super easy. For as little as $1 a month, you guys can get access to our secret Season 0 when DC and
the after show.
Yeah, Season 0 when DC and I were still learning how to do stuff, and our after show. The show after the show where we discuss the anime movie.
Yes, we discussed the movie we watched. This week, actually, we watched Lupin III, The Castle of Cagliostro, and next week is The Animatrix.
Yes, I do enjoy The Animatrix. But if you want to have access to all that content for as little as $1 a month, then hey, it's easy, it's peasy, it's lemon squeezy. And we can give you guys a special shout out.
Did you guys know that Interstellar 555 by Daft Punk is considered an anime movie?
Yeah.
Let me know if you would like to see Interstellar 555, because I think I might use it for a wildcard pick.
I'll do.
Just as an excuse to listen to some Daft Punk, honestly.
I don't like dubstep, says DC.
Daft
But
Punk
anyway,
isn't dubstep. What are you talking about?
well, techno.
It's techno, not dubstep.
It's similar.
No, it's not.
How is it different?
I don't think you've heard Daft Punk.
I actually love Daft Punk.
There's
I love them so
nothing like that. It is
Well-
nothing like that. Compare Daft Punk to Skrillex and tell me what the difference is.
Well,
Hey, YouTubers, you watching on YouTube, let me know down below, what's the difference between Daft Punk and Skrillex?
there's a lot. I'm just saying it's a similar genre of music.
It's not even close.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
Anyway,
not.
I like both. Just so everybody knows, I like techno and dubstep, and whatever new terms are coming out with to describe similar sounding music, I like that too. So anyway, everybody, thanks so much for watching. We're glad you're here. Welcome back to OtakuCast. This has been an interesting start to the season.
Electronic funk.
Anyway, electronic funk it is,
That's
I guess.
what Daft Punk is. Electronic funk.
I've never heard that terminology ever before. I was trying to do an outro anyway. So
Bye, everybody.
see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Just say goodbye. Just say goodbye. Just go bye.
Bye.
Don't flip the bird.